Hi everyone, Leanne here from Jaded Blossom, and I have a fun Christmas card to share with you today. Hey everybody, so I am using our die, the Sunburst card mat die, Christmas is Gnoming, and 6x6 paper pad by Echo Park Christmas Cheer. And I'm using an adorable gnome that is from Dorky Prints and Doodles. The set is called Gnome Christmas Clip Art. So really, really cute stuff. So what I did quickly was I cut the Sunburst card mat die out of Nina Desert Storm cardstock. So I did that first. And I cut a piece of just plain Nina bright white 60-pound cardstock at 4 by 5¼ inches. That's the white piece. And then I used Stick It on it. And then like I said, I stuck down my craft piece. And I went ahead and I cut out paper from that 6-inch pad, and I barely have any left. It was just little pieces, and I literally just chose pieces and taped it to the die, that Sunburst die, to cut out each one. Now, that's a lot harder than just cutting out a bunch of different patterns and then mixing them up yourself. But I kind of wanted to use up the rest of this card, the rest of this pattern paper from Echo Park, because I quite liked it. And it matched really well with the Gnome Christmas clip art from Dorky Prints and Doodles. So there was a plus in that. So I'm just quickly putting these all down with my EK Success reverse tweezers. You notice that I had them all laid out on a Post-it just to keep everything together so I know where everything went. There we go. And easy stuff. I'm going to run my Teflon bone folder to make sure everything's pressed down. You notice that I missed a couple little spots. There we go. But that's okay. I'm not too worried about that. So now I am putting this on an A2 size vertical card base made out of pine feather cardstock from Paper Tray Ink, 4.25 by 11, scored at 5½ inches with my Teflon bone folder and my Martha Stewart scoreboard. There we go. I cut all my dies out using my Gemini machine. And I'm just, cutting off anything that's hanging over. There we go. I love craft cardstock with Christmas paper. I don't know. There's something about it. So now this is a piece of that same Nina Desert Storm cardstock that's like 80-pound. And I cut it at 4 by 5¼ inches. And I'm just applying that to the inside of my card so there's somewhere to write, using my ATG tape to do that. There we go. So now I'm pulling out my VersaFine Claire Nocturne ink, and then I will stamp my sentiment. The sentiment came from that Christmas is Gnoming. And I'm using the sentiment that says, don't get your tinsel in a tangle, which is kind of fun. Because I figure I'm using a gnome that's carrying a tree, so it's it's a good sentiment. So I'm just making sure that it's in the right spot on my MISTI, and I will stamp it a few times just to get a really good, clear sentiment. So there we go. So fun stuff. So now I'm going to pop up this little gnome using my dimensionals from Stampin' Up. So fast stuff. You'll notice that I'm working on a Stampin' Up pad also here today. I know I use a lot of dimensionals. People tell me that, but I hate it when things get dented in the mail. I like stuff to stay nice and level, so that requires me to use a lot of foam tape. What can I say? So I'm just going to peel those off, and then I will pop this little guy on the front of my card. Try not to cover up the sentiment too much. There we go. How cute is he? He's just adorable. I love it. Just love it. So now I'm going to quickly add paper to the inside of my card. And I do this when I have leftover paper. It just makes sense. And the striped paper is 1¼ inches, and the red paper is 1½ inches. And I just ran it across on the inside of my card base. So easy stuff. Using my grid there to get things straight, and my ATG tape again. So lining everything up nice and straight. There we go. And then I will go ahead. I got a little bit extra adhesive. Those adhesive erasers are awesome. There we go. And now I'm just going to cut off the overhang with a pair of scissors. So fast stuff. I need to clean these scissors again. Those are not non-stick blades, and they're all gummy. So now I'm using the sentiment from the same set, Merry Christmas Nomi, and that is one of those misty creative, I think they're called creative corners. But I use them just to make sure my sentiment's straight. And there we go, stamping that sentiment right in the middle of my card. So easy stuff. Same ink again, VersaFine Clair Nocturne. There we go. So that's basically what it's going to look like. Now I'm going to pull out my Spectrum Noir Sparkle, and I'm just going to add some to each of the berries on his hat. And then I will use some glossy accents and add a little shine on top of that little glitter there. I always say when you're using clip art, it's a flat item. It always looks great when you kind of, oomph it up a little bit with a little bit of dimension and, highlights and stuff like that. So I'm going to add a few little highlights to this little gnome. Some where there were already some drawn, just to make them white. Others I'll add a few, like this one on the top of the hat. And I'm just, trying to add some interest basically. Now I'm going to be using the jelly roll, the secure jelly roll and the sparkle pen. And I'm just going to add some tinsel to this Christmas tree. And you can't really see it unless you tilt it in the light, but it's got a great little glitter and it looks cute. I quite liked it. So I'm just adding a couple of dots too. And I'll show you. Yeah, there you can sort of see it in the light. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to grab the Jaded Blossom Christmas banner dies, and I cut it out of the Pine Feather cardstock from Paper Tray Ink, and then I cut the little berries and the holly leaves from that same Christmas Cheer Echo Park pad. And I'm just adding them to this banner with my art glitter glue. So easy stuff. And I'm not adding them to every single one because I did cut the base out of green. So I'll leave some of the greens dark green like the card base, and then I'll use the greens from the card from the 6-inch paper pad for some of the other ones. So really cute. Jaded Blossom has these banner dies for all the different seasons and all the different celebrations, weddings, baby, Christmas, Easter, what have you. And they really add something to a card. And because I didn't have tons going on this card, I thought I'm going to add one of these banners to my card. So, like I said, super easy to put together and fun like I show you. It's easy stuff. Not hard at all. There we are. So I'm just adding up all these little pieces. And then I'm going to pull in Recollections enamel dots in red. And I'm just going to use them on the ones that I didn't fill in with paper, just for a little bit of dimension and some fun. There we are. And I quite liked how this ended up turning out, actually. It looked really cute. And I'm just making sure I have all my little berries covered. And then I will be adding this to my card base. So easy stuff. You'll notice that I'm using my EK Success tweezers again. I use them all the time for like everything. If you don't have them, you need them. There we are. So now I am going to straddle my image, and I'm going to cover up those two spots where I didn't cut the paper all the way to the corner, which is just a happy kind of accident that I was able to do that. Otherwise, I would have added some embellishments to cover up my boo-boo, but I didn't have to because I can add this holly banner, the Christmas banners, to my card. So there we go. And I added it with my art glitter glue again. How cute is that? And I have a little piece left. I'm going to take off that little enamel dot because this is going to end up on the inside of my card. And I don't want any dimension on the inside. I'm just going to replace that dot with a red one. And then I'm going to add that to the inside of my card. Just for a little something. A little something something. Right? And then I'll add this little extra leaf, holly leaf that I have to cover up the end there. And how cute is that? I love these banner dies. They just are really fun to use and easy, and I think they add a little something. There we go. So now I've decided, I need to add a little something more to those banner dies. So, and to my card. So I'm going to add a few more enamel dots just to my card base. So I'm going to add 3. Straddling the sentiment in a triangle, kind of like I always do. There we go. And then we'll end up with a Cute little card base. Yeah. And I did end up adding a few little highlights to those holly leaves, but then that's about it. So thank you so much for stopping by. Be sure to hop on over to the Jaded Blossom store and get some goodies, or over to Dorky Prints and Doodles and get some adorable clip art. Thanks for stopping by, everyone. See you soon. Bye.